Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in just a few minutes, but in order to allow everyone the opportunity to be seated, would you please move towards the middle if there's any open seats there to make room so we can fill every spot. There is overflow seating for those that aren't able to fit in here. I would like you to know also that the event is being live streamed tonight, so if you want to let your friends or family know, you can send a last-minute text with this YouTube address, and they just click live link at youtube.com/mayorwires, and they can watch it live. After you do that, please silence your phones, and we'll get started in a few minutes. Thanks. Good evening. Welcome to the Northwest Campus of Calvary Phoenix Church. and the mayor's military induction ceremony for high school students entering the armed forces. My name is Will Getz, and I'm one of the pastors here at Calvary Phoenix. Now, before we get started, I would like to point out a few important things to you. First off, restrooms. They're in the atrium where you came in on either side. We have men's and women's rooms. There's overflow rooms ushers can direct you to if needed. And water fountains right outside these doors. You'll see them right in front of you if you need water. They're right out in the atrium. And then finally, at the end of the night, we'll be offering free military Bibles to all the recruits as they exit. And I should say that the Bible is about the only thing that they're allowed to take with them to basic training. It's a personal item, so FYI. So now, I have the pleasure of introducing our Master of Ceremonies, Vinton Blandon. Vinton joined ABC 15 in November 2021 and has nearly 30 years of newsroom experience, as well as experience working with the U.S. Department of Justice. He's also a regional Edward R. Murrow recipient and Emmy winner. The news bug bit Vinton in 1992, and he hasn't left since. His passion for news grew when he moved to Greensville, South Carolina in 1993. He worked behind the scenes at WYFF TV in Greenville during high school. Vinton joined the United States Marine Corps in 1998 and received an honorable discharge. He has worked in stations in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, South Carolina, Alabama, and Missouri. Please welcome this evening's MC to the stage, Vinton Blandon.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, come on, Marines. We can do better, right? Good evening, everyone. All right, there we go. Y'all had all this going into rehearsal. I know we didn't get to showtime and just sit here all quiet like we're in church. I know we're in a sanctuary, but we're here to have a good time. We're here to celebrate you guys. Everybody, I walked around. If I did not see you, please say hello to me at the end of the evening. I wanted to make a point to speak to every single recruit joining the military, no matter which branch. So give yourselves a hand right now. And thank you guys so much. So my job is to keep this car going and keep us on time, get us all out on time, but we are here to celebrate you. But I want to talk to you when Mayor Wires and his staff reached out to me to ask, hey, you want to MC this thing that we do for recruits all across the valley? It started in Glendale, then it kicked off. It was really great, and now it became a valley-wide thing. I said, of course. I had no idea what it was going to look like, but I must say it looks fantastic. I got emotional with the Marine recruits earlier because once it's in you, it never leaves you. So y'all may have to help me out later on once we get deeper into the program. But having served in the military myself, I'm so very grateful to be asked to come to an event like this. I really wish that out of all the cities where I've worked in my nearly 30 years in broadcasting, that this would have been a part of every community, because I think without the military, we're nothing. So I just really love you guys for doing this. You're not there yet. You're going to be surprised, but you're going to love it at the end of the day, I promise you. So I want to give a special shout out to all of the people who made tonight possible. Our premier sponsor is the Four Peaks Endodontics. Proud supporters are 501c Realty Team, the Business Affairs Glendale, Calvary Phoenix Church, that's where we are now, DNL Press, Ideal Insurance, Sandy Core, VFW, Post 1433, and of course, Sounds of the Southwest Singers. You guys are going to hear them too, and they're pretty good. So right now, I would like for you all to please stand for the arrival of our official party, and then you will remain standing after that so that we can get the invocation from Executive Pastor Will Getz, who you just saw here at the podium. So please stand and remain standing. Thank you.
Would you please join me in prayer? Father in heaven, we thank you for the freedom we have to gather for an occasion such as this, and for the countless number of men and women who have served our country and even given their lives to protect this freedom we enjoy. We thank you for this evening, for the ability to recognize and honor this group of outstanding young people who are entering into the service of our nation. Soon they will be part of a unique group who've pledged their lives to protect and defend our country. You love them and you know them each by name, and we ask that you guide them and show yourself real to them as they move forward with their lives. Please protect them spiritually, emotionally, and physically, guarding them wherever their service may take them in this world. And we ask you to give their parents and other loved ones courage as they see them take this major step in their lives. May your peace guard their hearts and minds. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, so we would like you to stay standing. Thank you for doing that. We're now going to have the colors by Marine Corps League, Old Breed Detachment 767. Then we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance. That's going to be myself along with the mayor. And then we're going to have our national anthem performed by Dr. Miley Dong. The colors, all right.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Color Guard. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Doctor. Really appreciate it. So now let's continue standing and join the sounds of the Southwest Singers as singing God Bless America.
America, oh,
How many of you didn't think you would be singing tonight? I know, right? Y'all get it. It's so good. Once it gets in you, it never leaves you. I find myself, I'm the only guy that cries at the Star Spangled Banner at all the Phoenix games, all the Phoenix Suns games, and everything else. So fantastic job. Thank you all so much. Matt Deller and the Sounds of the Southwest Singers. We thank you for being here this evening. It wouldn't be inspirational or emotional without you guys. So thank you so much. So we have a number of VIPs, elected officials, and a lot of people who really put their support in this. I want you guys to go ahead and have a seat so we can acknowledge them. We'll make them get up, you know. But let's go ahead, and I'll give them a few seconds to have a seat. All right, let's get them up again. Mayor Jerry Wires and his wife, Sandy. Let's give him the honor. Council member Ian Hugh and his wife, Sharon. State Senator Anthony Kern, State Representative Annalise Ortiz, Council Member Ray Malnar, State Representative Kevin Payne, and also in attendance, we have the representatives from the Office of U.S. Representative, Debbie Lesko, and that person is Michael Tree, the representative of the Military and Veterans Community Liaison. Thank you. But guess what? We're not done yet. Let's welcome the City of Glendale presiding judge, Nicholas D. Piazza, and premier sponsors, Dr. Tron and Kristen Hegel of Four Peaks Endodontics. So our first speaker needs no introduction, really, but we'll give him a little. Without him and his persistence, the event would not be possible. It wouldn't even happen. So in his nearly 2 decades, you're not that old, 2 decades of being in public office, he has supported our active military members as well as our veterans. He is known as a down-to-earth guy who tries to make a positive difference in at least someone every single day. So let's please welcome Glendale Mayor Jerry Wires. Y'all getting out on time. I'll do it on mine.
Okay. Life is too short not to enjoy it, and I try to enjoy it every day of the year. So, good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight to the Mayor's Military Induction Ceremony. Those who are here in person and for those who are watching online. Now, this event is only possible because of a very large group of people coming together that share the same belief that I have, which is to honor these young people's decision to serve through my office, the committee, Triple M. Let's give a round of applause to the Mayor's military mission. No, really, go ahead. So we named it Mayor's Military Mission. We were going to call it 3M, but somebody said, no, you're going to get sued. So it's now Triple M. And it really is nothing more than a lot of people that want to make a difference in our veterans' lives, people who have served and people who are serving and people who will serve. I'd like to thank Pastor Getz, the Calvary Phoenix Church here. Each one of the sponsors that you already heard mentioned, and then probably one of the most important are local military recruiting offices and all the recruiters that have spent so much time helping us put this program together. So I'm very, very proud of the number of recruits that we have participating this year. It's a much larger group than last year, but it's not the largest group that we were supposed to have had. Back just pre-COVID, we were about 430 young folks that were supposed to be going in, and DOD went, no, we're not doing the event, not going to happen. So we had to throw the brakes on. We had a couple years we had to sit out. We came back, and we're back up pushing 400 right now, so I'm really proud of that. What we accomplished with this event goes beyond just thanking you. Okay, now I'm going to speak to the recruits now. Not parents, don't listen to this, okay? This is just the recruits. It's critically important that each one of you know that your community supports you and your family. We appreciate the service, the sacrifice that you're going to make. This event brings our community together publicly to acknowledge the courage and the commitment that each of you are making here today. So, with a very, very, very strong military heart, I'm not a veteran, but I guarantee I got a military heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your decision to serve the United States Armed Forces. Thank you. The students from Glendale and around the valley seated in the sanctuary tonight are part of 1%. I'll repeat that again, are part of 1% who have made the choice to stand watch on the front line to protect our freedoms. And for that reason, we're here tonight to honor you for that decision. Now, to each and every family member in attendance or the ones watching online tonight, your son, your daughter, your niece or nephew, your grandchild has made a decision to join a much, much larger family than your immediate family. This new family is unique and will always be there for you from this day forward. I want each one of you young men and women in this room to understand You making that decision to enlist, without a doubt, is going to be one of the greatest decisions you'll ever make in your entire life. Think about that for a minute. Your life will be full of decisions and momentous occasions. With your decision to serve, you placed your entire life on a career path with unlimited opportunities. Think about that for a minute. Unlimited opportunities. And you will always encounter challenges. Some of you might not know what a challenge coin is or even understand the meaning, so I'm going to share that with you. Hold on. Challenge coins are popular in the military and have been for decades, but they're also used by civilians and some membership organizations. The history of the challenge coin is fascinating, with military having very, very lengthy traditions going back. Depending on who's telling a story, I've heard 300 plus years, not actual coins, but artifacts that they would give. But the last 100 years is when they really become popular. Typically, a commander or someone in the command chain would present a coin to somebody for some special achievement. Now, it could be for courage, or it could be for showing leadership, honesty, quite anything that recognizes the recipient as exceptional. Think about that, exceptional. For instance, you can't give someone an increase in pay or a promotion in rank if you're out in the battlefield. So the challenge coin is a very special recognition for something extraordinary. This specially designed challenge coin for tonight inductees, every one of you is going to get one of these. On the one side, you'll see the office of the mayor, along with the American flag. I'm getting there. A very important part of the coin is where it says "First to thank you." On the other side, you'll see 6 branches of the military and words that say, "For your selfless service to the United States of America." Tonight, each recruit will receive one of these coins and a certificate of appreciation from my office. Now, what you need to know is you always want to keep this coin with you, because you never know when you might be challenged. This is where the name challenge comes from. If someone pulls their coin out of their pocket, challenges you, okay? If you're in a bar, you're too young to be in a bar. But if you were, say, like in a bar, but you weren't drinking, somebody pulls out a coin, all of a sudden it sounds like a machine gun going off, because everybody's getting their coins out. Nobody wants to have to buy the drinks for everybody. Now, I just want you to know, I happen to drink Diet Coke. A lot of it. My wife tells me way too much, but that is my drink. So, giving all of you coins tonight, if someone can't produce theirs and I happen to recognize you and I pull a coin out of my pocket and you don't have yours, guess what you're buying me? Man, you guys are quick. Yeah. But that also works the other way around. If you go, "Okay, Mayor, I got you," you pull yours out, guess what I'm buying you? Whatever you want. I don't care. Well, now you got to be old enough to be in the bar, right? Okay. So with that, it works both ways. If you're challenged and you have your coin, the challenger owes you a drink, vice versa. Finally, I want to acknowledge our veterans who are in this room right now with us today. I would like all of our veterans to please stand up and be recognized. Don't be bashful, stand up. No. Stand back up. Okay. I need all of. Okay, that's enough for them. But I need the vets to remain standing for a second. I'm sorry, General. The veterans who are standing, we appreciate the sacrifices that you made for our country. I do want all of the recruits to understand, look at these people standing up. Look around the room and see all these folks standing up. You folks are going to be standing on the shoulders of all these people that have gone before you. Think about that. They've paved the way. They've done things to make it where you can be doing what you're doing today. So again, now we need to welcome or thank them one more time. Thank you. Please let me close my remarks with this. Recruits, it's your job to carry that baton. You now have the opportunity to have a significant part in shaping our country in this crucial time in history. You're going to encounter challenges. I guarantee you're going to find danger. You're going to face fear. Whatever your assignment, wherever you happen to be stationed, I hope you'll always remember this day and how much your community supports and appreciates and loves you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. So without further ado, I'm honored to introduce a man who's known around the world. General Robin Rand is a retired U.S. Air Force 4-star general and former commander of Air Force Global Strike Command and U.S. Strategic Command. He entered the Air Force in 1974. He graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy in 1979. He retired from the Air Force in 2018 after serving over 40 years on active duty. As a commander of the Air Force Global Strike Command, he was responsible for providing strategic deterrence, global strike, and combat support. The command consisted of two numbered air forces, 11 active duty, 11. I'm trying to read what's not there. I'll just read what's there. How's that? The command consists of 2 numbered air forces, 11 active duty, Air National Guard, and Air Force Reserve Wings, the Joint Global Strike Operations Center, and the Nuclear Command, Control and Communication Center, weapons systems assigned to the Air Force Global Strike Command, including all U.S. intercontinental missiles and bomber aircraft, UH-1N helicopters, E-4B National Airborne Operations Center aircraft, and the remaining U.S. Air Force NC-3 weapons systems. That's not enough. He also previously served as commander of the Air Education and Training Command at Joint Base San Antonio Randolph in Texas, where he was responsible for recruiting, training, and educating Air Force personnel. During his military career, which included 6 overseas assignments, General Rand had multiple flying assignments. He served as an air liaison officer duty with the U.S. Army and completed staff tours on Joint Staff, Office of the Secretary of Defense, and headquarters of the U.S. Air Force. Okay, if this hasn't impressed you yet, then nothing's going to, but this is really cool. He also has flown more than 5,100 total flying hours, mostly in F-16s, including more than 480 combat hours. General Rand has a history here in Arizona. He's both a student pilot and instructor pilot at Williams Air Force Base, which is now Williams Gateway Airport over in Mesa. Later in his career, he was an F-16 pilot, the deputy commander of the 56 Operations Group. Check this out, and the commander of the 56 Fighter Wing at Luke Air Force Base. Huh? I had to take that break. I was getting tired. Okay, but there's more. He was also the commander of the 12th Air Force Air Combat Command and Commander, Air Force Southern U.S. Southern Command at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage a warrior and officer who always leads by example, a veteran of both air combat and peacetime paperwork budget battles, General Robin Rand. And sir, I've already said this in the past and I'll say it again, I'd gladly be your wingman anytime you just say the word. Thank you.
All right, good evening. Thank you. Stop. I left Denver, Colorado this morning. It was 42 degrees in sleet, and now I'm here in this, and I had a sweatshirt on. I love being back in Arizona. It's a great place. And I will apologize. I'm sorry for all you Suns fans. I am a Nuggets fan, okay? Hey, you got to do it. You got to do what you do. I want to do a thing. The mayor, this is so amazing. Very emotional for me. 1% of our nation put on the cloth to serve. And that you recognize them and their families is incredible. So to you and your beautiful wife, thank you so much. I got a few wingmen down in front. I got these wingmen over here. It's great. But here's what I want to do. We're going to recognize these young men and women, but I want to recognize the family members for a second. So could I ask if there are any devil dogs, Marine moms, dads, brothers, sisters, spouses? Stand up. Let us cheer you on. By the way, these are not terms I'm making up. Are there any dog-faced soldiers, battle buddies, all the parents and moms and dads that have their sons and daughters going in the Army? Please stand and be recognized. Yeah. I think the mayor said 6. Are there any coasties out there, Coast Guardsmen out there? How about shipmates, sailors, United States Navy? Stand up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Near and dear to me, wingmen. Where's my Air Force parents and family? Stand up. And I don't know, I'm on a limb, but our newest service, do we have any Guardians, any Space Force folks out there? All right. Well, we are well represented. And I want to assure you, moms and dads, spouses, that your children are the finest sons and daughters this nation has. And they're going to take care of them. Okay? You got me? Or they're going to die trying. Because we value what you're giving us, your greatest possession. So to all of you, give them a round of applause. So they told me to use this, and I think I can figure it out. Let's see. There we go. So the mayor's asked me to do this, and he gave the bio, and that's not really important. But as I reflect back on my 45 plus years wearing a uniform every day of my life for those 45 years, you ask yourself, and you get asked a lot, why did you join? Why did you join? And I used to say, towards the end of my career, it was so long ago, I don't remember. But that reason really isn't important. So tonight, we're going to recognize close to 400 young men and women who have elected to serve in our nation. To doing the tough business, the nasty business. So why did they join? You know, the reasons are various, and there isn't a good or bad reason. Some join, they want to pursue college, and the military will help you do that. Some join because they want to see the world. You'll see the world. Parts of the world you probably will wish you hadn't seen. Some join because it's a paycheck and a roof over their head, and a square meal or two a day in security. Some serve because they want to get out from a bad situation. Some join because their mom and dad and their brother and sister, an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent serve. There aren't good reasons or bad reasons, are there? Some serve because they know that they have to be the people that stand in the gap because there are wolves howling at our doors. To these young men and women, they barely can remember or weren't even alive when 9/11 happened, when our nation was attacked. Our recruiting spiked when that happened. And to each of you out there, I thank you for whatever your reason is. It doesn't matter to me. I just thank you. But the more important question that I found in my life wasn't why I joined, but why I stayed in. And candidly, that changed with time. See, I had my reasons. I wanted to play Division I athletics. And the Air Force Academy offered the chance to do that. But that's not why I stayed in. So what I submit to you from an old guy is you're all going to be confronted with this. Mission is why I served. Airmen, soldiers, sailors, Marines, guardians, coasties. The families who support those airmen, guardians, soldiers, sailors, Marine, and coasties. Embedded in our phenomenal core values that we have, enriched and reinforced by our rich heritage. That's what motivated me to stay in. And so I'm going to do a walk around the arena with you for a little while, okay? And young men and women, this is for you. Because we're going to ask a lot of you. And you better, deep down, this ain't an 8 to 5 job. Understand why you serve. Mission, defenders, families, values, heritage. Which way do I point it? That way? There we go. Hey, the mission we're going to ask you to do, in my humble opinion, has never been more important than it is today. There are people who have ill will against us in our way of life. And you become our defenders. You watch the news. China. I'm calling them out. Russia. Iran. Radical terrorists who want to slit our throat because they don't like the way of life that Americans are afforded. In our own backyard, there are people in our own backyard. There's a vacuum forming in Central and South America that is going to be filled by others. I love Central and South America. I spent a lot of time there. But it's been infiltrated by narcotics, governments that are failing. And we're going to ask you to stand in the gap, to protect us. I've served in every one of these areas that I showed you right now. North Korea. Your mission is to preserve our way of life and those who feel like us, and you become this umbrella of security for the world. Are you ready to take that on?
Yes, sir.
It's noble, but it's hard. Look at them. These are some of the folks I served with. Your age. Some a little older. I got a story about every one of them. I don't have time tonight to tell the story. I used to work for a boss, one of the finest leaders I ever met, named General Mark Welsh. And he said, every airman has a story. Your job is to learn their story. Every Marine has a story. Every sailor has a story. Every dog-faced army man or woman has a story. Our job is to do what? Learn their story and tell it. Thank you for being our defenders. Why I serve, mission, our defenders. I've been there. It's personal. It's personal. This ain't for the faint-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted. Mission, defenders, families. I used to say that defenders, you're our defenders tonight. Airmen serve, families sacrifice. So I want once again to ask all the family members who are sending their brightest and best to rise and be acknowledged tonight, because we honor you. Yeah, I'm not gonna kid you. There's sleepless nights ahead for you. There are. There are. So I want you to know I'm grateful for your sacrifices, and I will pray for all the family members tonight and every night for the rest of my life. It's personal. See that little boy in the green shirt in the lower right? See that boy next to him? Those are my two grandsons. They know what I'm talking about. See, that was taken at Davis Monthan at 5 o'clock one night. What happens at 5 o'clock on every military installation? And they were out in the backyard or inside watching, I don't know, some wacky cartoon, and my wife was watering the garden in our home at Davis Monthan. And the colors came on, and they flew out, and they faced the sound of the music. Luke is in the green shirt. That's his brother Eli next to him. I always say Lukey is a Las Vegas gambler. He doubled down his odds to make sure he could cover, okay? And they faced the sound of music as the national anthem was played. It's personal. See, their daddy was deployed. They were living with me and my wife at the time. As their daddy was out defending our nation in combat. That little sweetheart in the lower left is my granddaughter. They're now 18, 15, and 12. Why did I tell that story about those kids? Because I like that picture. There's no real moral behind it, other than families' sacrifice. It's personal. I thank you. I thank their families. Troy Gilbert. stationed at Luke Air Force Base, deployed to Iraq in October of 2006. Some special operators, 18 of them, Delta Force, their helicopter went down, and they become quickly under siege by Al-Qaeda terrorists. Troy came in his F-16. Tragic ending. And he impacted the ground, trying to save those special operators. What's even more tragic is he left his beautiful wife, Ginger, in the red hat, and 5 children. 2 at the time who were 9-month-old twins behind. That's tragic, isn't it? Guess what? 19 special operators walked out alive that day because of what Troy Gilbert did. You hear me? I'm mindful because of what I saw earlier of those wonderful old breed Marines. I imagine some of them were Vietnam veterans. Do you know that today, this month, this year, 2023, is the 50th anniversary of our time in Vietnam? Did you know that? And as we speak right now in Washington, D.C., our families gathering, commemorating, remembering the POWs and MIAs from the Vietnam War. Defenders serve, families do what? Core values. This is my service's core values, but I've done a study of the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and they're not much difference. Duty, honor, country. Ours are integrity, service, and excellence. Gang, you're signing up to something. They're just words, though. They're just words. You have to put them into action. And if you let them be your beacon, your guiding light, when you hit that crossing in the road and you got to go left or you got to go right or you got to go straight up the middle, and you remember your values and you live by these values, guess what's going to happen? You'll do the right thing. You hear me? Yes, and that's why old timers like me serve. Mission, defenders' families, rooted in values that are bigger than ourselves. Integrity, service, not perfection, but what? Excellence. Because of those values, we are encouraged and challenged and motivated to treat our wingmen, our shipmates, our battle buddies, our Marines with dignity and respect. Because if you don't, that's inconsistent with our values, isn't it? And isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful to be able to trust your life to the person sitting to your left and sitting to your right? And to treat people and be treated the way you've always wanted to be treated? And that's what I want you to remember as you enter our service. You know, I started off as a young enlisted guy, but I don't know why, but somehow I made it. Way 4 stars more than I deserved and should have ever been. And it took a lot of help. In that last picture, I just want to share with you. Oops. It was taken on May 1st, 2018. I had about 2 or 3 months left on active duty. And I was getting ready to go visit airmen again in Al Udeid, Qatar, where we were conducting daily combat operations. And I wanted to go visit my airmen one last time in combat. And the guy sitting there in the khakis and the blue shirt was David, and David was my enlisted aide. He prepared my uniforms, cleaned our house, cooked our meals. I didn't deserve any of that. But he did all that because we had to host, and he took the load off me and my wife. Next to David is Kristen. She was a lieutenant colonel at the time. She was my executive officer. On the other side of me was Ashley. Ashley Ann was my aide de camp, officer. Any trip I went on, she went with me. She carried my bag. She made me make sure I was on time to every meeting I had to go to. She did every detail to make sure I was on. And next to her was Nate the Skate, my executive driver. They were what I call my inner circle. They took care of me. I didn't earn it, didn't deserve it, but because of the position I was in, they were devoted to me. Why do I talk about them? Because I hope that I treated them with dignity and respect. Because I know they saw me at my absolute worst. I hope they saw me sometimes when I was at my best. I love that picture. Ashley and I left that morning. And a day later, I flew a 10.5-hour mission in a B-1 at the controls. We delivered 12,000 pounds of anger to take out people who don't like our way of life. Look to your left. Look to your right now. Promise me you'll treat each other with dignity and respect. Will you make that promise?
Yes, sir.
Mission? Defenders? Families? Core values? Our last one. The mayor said it better than I could. He already told you you are standing on the shoulders of what? Giants tonight. Yes, you are. Heritage. History. Who's a history major in here? Who likes history? I love history. I love it. I read it. I study it. History makes us smarter. History will teach us Hopefully so we don't make the mistakes of our past. History is wonderful, but heritage will make you prouder. The heritage of the services you are entering tonight is spectacular. Men and women, ordinary men and women who went on and did extraordinary things for our country, for their battle buddy, for their Marine, for their shipmate, for their wingman. Know your heritage. Your heritage, when you're at that cross in the road, you'll do the right thing. I'm so grateful that I got to stand on the shoulders of giants, that I followed in the footsteps of Jimmy Doolittle in the Doolittle Raiders, that I commanded the same organization that Benjamin O. Davis Jr. commanded in the 332nd Fighter Group in World War II, an all African American group that was spectacular in combat. And when they came back to the United States in 1945, and if they had gone to the Luke Officers Club, they would have been denied entry and couldn't have ordered a beer because of the color of their skin. Robbie Reisner, Curtis LeMay. The list is long. Ordinary men and women who went on to do what? You didn't get here by yourselves, gang. As good as you are, you stand on the shoulders of giants. Don't let them down. Will you promise me that?
Yes, sir.
So, I'm going to get off the stage. But I'm close friends with the sister of a man named Lance P. Sijan. She's in D.C. right now at that 50th reunion I talked about. History makes you smarter. Heritage makes you prouder. Let's see if we can get this to run.
This is not your typical love story. Picture a skeleton of a man, alone. A skeleton with bits of ragged skin and muscle and a heart that somehow won't stop beating. Captain Lance P. Sijan, ejected from his fighter jet over Laos, November 1967. 46 days and nights with no food, crawling along inch by inch, trying to pull himself home out of hell. A shattered hand, cracked in half, fingers folded back and tied down with filthy strips of what used to be this airman's flight suit. One leg busted with a double compound fracture and the bones snapped off sharp. Dragging himself along the jungle floor, the flesh rubbed off, his body scraping over the limestone and tree roots. As he passes in and out of consciousness, he tries to measure time by the length of his beard and his matted hair. Like I said, this is not your typical love story. Lance P. Sijan was unrecognizable. He was 80 pounds and close to death, but he was a million miles away from giving up. He'd been a 220-pound football player at the Air Force Academy. He was a pilot. He was a leader. He lifted others up, but he didn't tolerate fools or slackers. He loved art, and he sang the lead in the high school musical The King and I. He was a good-looking guy and drove a sweet Corvette. He was a Boy Scout. He was a son. and he was a brother. He was ejected from his aircraft after an ordnance explosion over Laos. 46 days. He waved off a rescue because he didn't want to risk getting anyone else hurt. On Christmas morning, 1967, barely alive, he was captured by the Viet Cong and taken to an interrogation camp. Emaciated, hardly breathing, he still managed to overpower a guard and escape, but was recaptured and tortured for 9 days. The other American prisoners could hear his screams. Saigon gave up nothing. The reason Lance had room for pain was because he made no room for hate. Make no mistake, Lance Saigon had no love in his heart for his captors. He threatened to break their necks even when he was too weak to swallow food or lift his head. He believed in freedom. He believed in his fellow airmen. There's a difference between faith and hope. Hope is something you cling to. Faith is something strong as nails you can carry into battle. Faith is believing with all you've got. Lance never gave up believing they would escape. His love of country and of his airmen was immeasurable and unbroken right up to the end. He died January 22nd, 1968. He received the Medal of Honor for evading capture, for heroism above and beyond the call of duty, for living the code of conduct to his last breath. A man's character is revealed in the actions he takes when he knows no one is watching. A man's soul is revealed in the actions he takes when he knows no one is coming. Don't think of this as a horror story of survival that you can't imagine. Think of the things we all share with Lance Saigon, the things we fight for. If he could do what he did, airmen, you can do whatever is in front of you. You are never alone, because Lance P. Saigon left us a legacy of love and leadership. Love of country leads to duty. Love of your fellow airmen leads to loyalty. Love of freedom leads you onward. Love of family leads you home. Aim high, airmen.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I'm seeing a man down here that moved me to say something. We talked about you being defenders, right? Yes, sir. But every day we have defenders on the home front. They're called our first responders. So could I have our police and our firefighters, any first responders, please rise and be recognized tonight. You don't deserve the criticism. Thank you. So why I serve? Served. It's your turn now. I'm just an old fat guy. Mission? It's noble, isn't it? Defenders? Their families? You? We stand for core values that matter. And we stand on the shoulders of who? It's not easy, gang. It's not easy. See the blood under their fingernail? And I can't apologize for that. And here's why I won't apologize. Because you are going to protect those 3 grandchildren that I talked to you about. Their names are Eli, Luke, and Evie Joy. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
Thank you, General Rand. That was a wonderful speech. And it spoke to me talking about the core values of a Marine: honor, courage, and commitment. That is so true. You know, sometimes you think, oh, these are just corny words. Yeah, I'm going to do the right thing. Sometimes you are at that crossroads. I see it growing up. I see it when I cover news each night. It's like you do the right thing. You never have to question it because eventually those core values, as the general said, they will live in you. Everything you do, you'll start to wake up and automatically do it. You'll impress yourself. You might not tell anybody like your mom or dad, but I promise you at some point you will always, it'll become your North Star. You'll just always live for Marines: honor, courage, and commitment, and the others, your core values as well. So thank you again for that. That was a nice drive down memory lane for me, thinking about why did I serve, why did I join, why did I stay in all those years. So again, you got the salute to your excellence, so I appreciate it. Now, the general, he said a lot of great words, and another man, he said a lot of great words, but this is a quote that I heard before, and it was nice to be reminded of it. The words are, "The supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity." There's that word again. Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it is on a section gang, a football field, in an army, or in an office. Does that sound familiar to anyone? General Dwight D. Eisenhower, those were his words. So every one of you recruits, I have some words here. Every one of you recruits, everyone in this room has that special quality in them. You might not see it now, but I promise you, when you get down to, well, not Parris Island, but the West Coast, those yellow footprints, when you get back to your respective places, you'll start to feel that this will be ingrained in you. You will get the opportunity to meet the leaders. You're going to meet some people who just knock your socks off. You're going to meet some people who say, oh, that's a bit too much, too gung-ho, you're too motivated, but these are going to be some things that come to you. You should strive to become a leader of your own selves. Serve with honor, dignity every day. Now, this event is put together by a large group of people. I mean, it's not one person, maybe a vision of one, but like we have those core values that get in you and that live in you. This team that works behind this every single year, every day, hours and hours. I mean, it took weeks to get me to come to this, so that was nothing. These guys have, from the church house, from the mayor's office, and the businesses, they are all there. So some of them serve on the mayor's military mission. I would like for all of those people to stand, because you guys organized this event, and without you, this would not be possible. So the triple M's, as the mayor talked about, please stand and collect your flowers. All right, I'm going to push a little further, go off script. Wave your hand, because maybe you guys are already standing. If you're on the triple M, wave. Okay, I see you. Anybody else? Okay, I see 3 people. It's more than 3, right? 4. Okay, it's a lot of them, right? Okay, I was going to say they were tired, hard work, but yeah, they made room for you guys. So if you're watching online, thank you so much. We look forward to 2024. Jumping ahead, but yeah, we're going to do it. So go ahead again and give them a round of applause, especially the ones who are not here that sacrifice their seats so you guys could be in here. So are you guys ready? Yes, sir. All right. I worked for a living. No, I'm joking. But thank you so much for that. It's time to do what we came to do. The recruits, they're going to be called up with their respective branch of service. Now, I know it's hard. I did ASU graduation this morning, and they said do this. Nobody listened, but I'm going to tell you again, I don't think you'll listen. But please hold your applause until all recruits have crossed the stage from each branch. So we're going to do the Marines. Don't do anything until they're done, then clap. Air Force, so on and so forth. You guys ready? Yes, sir. All right. Now, important thing for moms and dads, so you can brag about the moment. Some of you sleepy, some of you just so emotional, hadn't followed along. But we have a photographer. That photographer is going to be taking the pictures at no cost. They will be posted and available for you to download for free next Tuesday, May 16th. It's going to be on the mayor's Flickr account. Yes, he does have a Flickr account. It's flickr.com/mayorwires, and you can see it on the screen. Do like I did and send to the newsroom. Take a picture and text it to all your people so you don't have to type it and If you have fat fingers like me, it's going to mess up. So take a picture and send it to your people. So now the address, as I said, is up there. But Mayor Wires, General Rand, Clarissa Benitez, and Jenny Cousin. I think that's everyone on stage, all right. I hadn't met you, Jenny, so it's nice to see you. I didn't see you. A representative from each branch will be coming up here announcing the names of the people because these folks are going to be joining them to hand out the coins. So this is a time where all you recruits are going to get the coins and those certificates. Okay. First up is the Arizona Army National Guard. So I'd like to bring up Lieutenant Colonel Gordon Smith. All right. Okay.
The Arizona National Guard has the distinct privilege of going first because we are the oldest service in the armed forces. But there's something special about the Arizona National Guard, and that is because we represent all of you. And I want you to think back to March of 2020 and where you were when we all went into the COVID lockdown. Do you remember going to Walmart or Fry's and the shelves were barren? And there was no toilet paper or sandwich meat. The National Guard was mobilized for the greatest mobilization in peacetime service in 2020. And the Arizona National Guard was put on duty here in Glendale at the State Farm Stadium, administering over 8 million vaccine injections to help stop the spread and the impact of COVID. And there were National Guard soldiers that were mobilized to deliver groceries and to stock shelves to ensure that our families could remain strong. That's what the National Guard is, and that's what the National Guard does. But I want you to all repeat after me, because every single one of you, whether you're going into the Marine Corps, or you're going into the active Army, or you're going into the Navy, and you leave Arizona, you all started here. And when I was overseas in 2006 with my soldiers from the Arizona National Guard, from the Triple Deuce Transportation Company, we started and we learned one phrase in Arabic that we took with us to Iraq. And that one phrase saved lives. And I'm going to teach it to you in English. It's a very simple phrase, and I want you to all repeat it with me. I'm from Arizona, and I am here to help. I want you to say that with me. I'm from Arizona, and I'm here to help. Just remember that when you go off to Parris Island, or you're at Camp Pendleton, or you're at some Navy base in Spain, you are from Arizona, and you represent the people of Arizona. Now, for those of you that are in the National Guard, you will have a duty, and you will take an oath to support and defend not only the Constitution, but the state of Arizona. And Mayor McGuire, I'd like to present to you our challenge medallion, which is like a coin, and this has the flag of Arizona. Now, in 1912, when our state received statehood, we didn't have a flag. And the National Guard shooting team went to the national championship, and they were told, you can't participate because you don't have a state flag. And so the National Guard formed and made this flag, which is our state flag. So that came from the National Guard, and I want you to remember that when you look at the flag of Arizona. Mayor Wires, sorry, I'm confusing all the letters together. We present this to you as a medallion for your support to the National Guard. And it does have a can opener on there, so if you ever have to open a can of Coke because the tab broke off, you can. Or if you ever have to open a can of Whip Ass, you've also got this.
following recruits have made the commitment to serve their state and country in the Arizona Army National Guard. Jack L. Anderson. Daniel N. Avalos. Jacob Avalar. James Beauregard. Sheldon Begay. King Caldwell. Aiden Chalmers. Michael Chabanu. Christopher Cisneros. Trinity Coates. Lena Delara. Julio Dominguez. Jonathan Espinoza. Colton Fritz. Antonio Garcia. Tanya Garcia Delgado. Sean Gaspar. Alexis Joe. Morgan Canal. Diego Loriano. Estefani Leon Ortega. Jesus Laredo. Jessica Matakis. Justice McLaughlin. Jose Molina. Yariana Monroy Castillo. Chad Murray. Jonathan Michael Nolan. Jose Ramos. Camilla Rashid. Evan Raymond. Brian Reyna Para. Joseph Reyna Para. Brendan Robbins. Cecilia Robles. Colton Rogers. Christopher Rodriguez Sanchez. Carlos Ruiz. Dustin Silvas. Braden Taylor. Mark Valles. Maddie Van Horn. Eric Hernandez. Kenny Vargas. Michelle Martinez. Juliet Martinez. Angel Perez. Abze Salazar. That concludes our list of recruits entering the Arizona Army National Guard.
The following recruit has made the commitment to serve his state and country in the Arizona Air National Guard, Cole Capo. That concludes our list of recruit entering the Arizona Air National Guard.
I would now like to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Tammy Bogart from the U.S. Army. Booyah.
Good evening. I'm honored to recognize the future soldiers that are here today, as well as the members of the other armed services. We're incredibly proud of everything that you've already accomplished and everything that you will accomplish as you strive to be all you can be. As already been mentioned, you are part of the fewer than 1% that heed that call to service. And being a soldier is not an easy job, but nothing worth doing is ever easy. It's certainly not easy to qualify to be a soldier. In fact, the majority cannot. Although it's not easy to become a soldier, it is certainly one of the most rewarding and meaningful career choices you will make. You are committing to safeguarding and enhancing the lives of your fellow citizens. Whether it's community outreach, medical support in impoverished nations, building infrastructure, or just volunteering in the community, soldiers are always committed to improving the lives of those around them. Your decision to serve your country is as impressive as it is important. I'm humbled and awed by the character, spirit of excellence, and resolute commitment of all of you. Even before our nation was formed, the people placed a special trust and confidence in the Army. And in all points of existence since its founding, the Army has kept its promise to the American people. When you took the oath to support and defend the Constitution, you entered into a sacred trust with the nation and joined our legacy. As you begin your personal Army journey, take pride in knowing that your individual contributions will shape the future of the Army, the nation, and the world. You will grow as an individual, soldier, and leader. You will undoubtedly face challenges along the way, but you will have a support system of brothers and sisters in arms who will provide you with all of the support and guidance you need. There may be times when you're a little tired, a little cold, maybe even a little wet, Those moments will help grow your confidence, resiliency, and ability to work in any environment. The traits will follow you through the rest of your life. And believe it or not, you're going to look back at those times as some of the greatest moments in your life. You will build strong friendships with fellow soldiers from across the country who represent the greatest the nation has to offer. You'll also forge a connection with veterans and find yourself swapping stories for hours with new acquaintances. You'll have the opportunity to hone your craft, travel, pursue hobbies, and obtain higher levels of education. As I look across the room, I see soldiers representing dozens of career fields and diverse career paths. Your paths are unique, but will inspire and allow you to achieve more than you ever imagined. Whether you serve for one enlistment or until retirement, the experiences will carry with you for the rest of your life. And as you embark on this next chapter, I thank you for your commitment to the Army and the nation. And to the family members, thank you for entrusting us with your sons and daughters. Know this, the Army's most valuable asset is its people, and I'm proud to welcome all of you to the Army family. Be all you can be.
The following recruits have made the commitment to serve the country of the United States Army. Caleb Daw. Ty Doherty. Jaden Jenkins. Mia Metzger. Wyatt Mraz. Neil Souza. Isaac Taylor. Nathan Torres. Tristan Soul. Daquan Mewborn. Juan Bernal Fuentes. Isabel Franco. Logan Beeman. Damian Lopez. Justin Usinich. Tatum Hansen. Noah Brima. Andreas Angulo Morales. That concludes our list of recruits entering the U.S. Army.
All right, next, I would like to call to the podium Commander Kevin Call of the U.S. Navy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me and all of the future sailors that you're about to meet here tonight. Many of you know the 6 services, as the mayor talked about, and many of you may be surprised to see the white uniforms of the Sea Service. After all, there are an awful lot of sand, dunes, and cacti around here, and not a lot of water. One of our selling points is see the ocean. That being said, I would be remiss to not explain the amazing history and the giants that you also stand on for those of you who are joining the Navy. Arizona has a proud history within the United States Navy. I'm sure all of you are aware of the USS Arizona at the bottom of Pearl Harbor right now. Numerous ships named after the most famous cities in this state. The USS Phoenix, currently at Papago, waiting to be a memorial to submariners throughout the state. But the USS Tucson, proudly on patrol as we speak. And another submarine, the USS Arizona, renamed, coming back to be with us in a few short months. And of course, you have the men and the women to stand on their shoulders as well, because Arizona is, of course, the home to one of the first families of the Navy, and certainly a first family of the Arizona Navy, the families of Admirals and Captain John S. McCain, named after a ship currently stationed in Everett, Washington, that bears her proud name. Parents, families, I thank you for what you're about to give to the United States Navy. Your sons and daughters are about to join America's away team. They will go to boot camp. Seems nobody here knows where that is, but it's outside of Chicago at Recruit Training Command Great Lakes. So they will get to enjoy Chicago instead of Parris Island or something like that. That being said, they will join in the away team. They are your defenders who keep all of those bad people that you saw on the general slides away. You will see, many of you will sail on nuclear-powered submarines below the surface of the ocean, guided missile destroyers and cruisers in the South China Sea, and of course, a few of you will get the privilege of going from 0 to a couple hundred knots in about 1.5 seconds off the front end of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. So I'll leave it with that and introduce the future sailors here, but I'll end with welcome aboard, shipmates.
The following recruits have made the commitment to serve their country in the United States Navy. Ismael Arvayo. Savannah Bowen. Jacob Boyer. Rachel Brokaw. Rafe Byers. Andrew Contreras. Evan Cox. Carlos Davian Fuentes, Jr. Christian Garcia. Marcella Garduno. Anthony Gilbert. Angel Gonzalez Torres. Trey Harvell. Trace Hoskins. Isaac Jackson. Peter Kurkowski. Tiara Aguilar. Aaron Lechuga. Angelina Martinez. Colby Monta. Shayla Wynn. William Owens. Bo Peterson. Zyrene Punzalan. Law Pint. Angel Salgado. Julian Cisneros. Christian Starner. Landon Volgraf. Aliana Salazar. Nina Gates. Martin Ontiveros. Caitlin Gillum. Misael Aguilar Delgato. Christian Amarias. Danielle Rice. Kenzie Ball. Lorelei Gillingham. Malachi Berkey. Aldo Acosta. Thomas Schultz. Gabe Houston. Aiden Moore. Zaire Matthews. Malia Loomis. Mary Turner. Austin Wilson. Leonel Velasquez. Kaylin Armstrong. Daniela Ramirez Meza. That concludes our list of recruits entering the world's finest Navy.
Hearing the snickering the whole time. So, so my one time to show bias, I'm gonna go ahead and record because I know you guys are up to something. Major, get ready. Here we go. Next, I would like to introduce Major Keegan Kincaid of the United States Marine Corps.
Air Wires, General Rant, ladies and gentlemen, Marines. I'm Major Keegan Kincaid. I'm in charge of recruiting for the Marine Corps in the state of Arizona. I feel obligated to reinforce your message, Mayor. I know you got that can opener in your pocket from the National Guard, but just in case somebody challenges you with the coin, I want you to have one in your pocket, sir. Thank you so much for all of your support.
Thank you.
As a boy growing up in the Midwest, I was fairly certain that I knew what patriotism was, where the heroes of America called home. And for the last year, I found out I couldn't have been more wrong. As I go across this state, it is absolutely clear that our heroes live in Arizona. Yep. And I get asked by all of the Marine veterans across this great state, one question: is our Corps okay? And I smile. And I know their concerns, because we turn on the TV and we hear about propensity and we hear about the recruiting challenges. But I smile because across this great state, there are amazing men and women who want to earn the title Marine. On March 2020, when the pandemic hit, I was with 1,000 of my best friends floating in the Pacific on the USS America, hoping that a hater of freedom would use that as an opportunity to threaten our way of life. So to the 177 of you out here right now who are gonna have the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor tattooed on your soul, I cannot wait to locate, close with, and destroy anybody who threatens this great experiment in democracy with you. Semper Fidelis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The following recruits have made the commitment to serve their country in the United States Marine Corps. Brian Adame. Marco Acosta. Kasim Adair. Karen Allen. Christopher Allende Gonzalez. Andy Alonzo. Alejandro Alvarez. Irvin Arbuckle. Joel Arguello. Eduardo Armenta Bojorquez. Miles Armstrong. Jason Artuso Gonzalez. Daniel Arzate Ornelas. Colton Astorquia. Michael Ayon Gonzalez. Tyler Bates. Josué Razo. Jessica Bautista Lopez. Zoe Bine. Caden Blair. Mario Briones Vasquez. Adric Brown. Juan Carrasco Martinez. Coton Carrillo Boyas. Luis Felix. Alberto Castro Manzanares. Adam Clements. Matthew Conley. Donnell Cooper. Oscar Cordova. Cesar Hernandez. Eric Cruz Castro. Nasim Davis. Trent DeBoard. Zoe Demolling. Hunter Denham. Darren Dennis. Jeremy Demas. Matthew Dominguez. Samantha Duarte Gamboa. Eli Duenas Ayton. Luke Edwards. Mason Erb. Alex Andre Everett. Samson Fighter. Hayden Fierro. Tatiana Figueroa Ramos. Aaron Finney. Sebastian Flores. Angel Galvez Ortega. Motley Mayhem Jr. Robert Garcia III. Jose Garcia Garcia. Daniel Gonzalez. Isaiah Gonzalez. Mallory Haldar. Noah Hale. Von Harla. Toby Dean Harms. Joseph Harris III. Stephen Haskins. Frederick Hernandez. Latrell Hodges. Jonathan Howell. Jesus Andre Ibarra Araujo. Tahapka interpreter. Tomasz Joniec. Thomas Lee. Michael Laterno. Barry Letzler. Brittany Lima. Xander Loosely. Sierra Lopez. Lorenzo Lopez Ochoa. Antonio Lopez Perez. Shay Ray. Dario Luna Franco. Congrats. Emily Luna Peña. Ruben Luna Peña. Alan Cosme. Jesus Madrid Nieblas. Joy Mares. Osvaldo Marquez Solís. Jacob Martinez. Roberto Martínez. Jonathan Martínez Espinosa. Luis Matos Jr. Parker Matzdorf. Anthony Maxwell. Julian McDermott. Ari Mendez Hilerio. Adrian Mendiola Montano. Jason Monroy Arcineja. Isaiah Moore. Preston Moss, right? Congratulations, brother. Thank you, sir. Preston Moss. Jaron Nez. Gilberto Núñez. Christopher Ochoa Carrillo. How do you want it? Christopher Ochoa Carrillo? Are you sure? Christopher Ochoa Carrillo. Okay. OPJ. Congratulations. John Okajic. Aaron Ogden. Congratulations, brother. Aaron Ogden. Absolutely. Congratulations. Axel Olage Valtieres. Alexander Ortega. Congratulations, brother. Alexander Ortegon. Alejandro Ortiz Moreno. Alejandro Ortiz Moreno. Victor Osborne. Congratulations. Victor Osborne. Alexis Osuna. Teresa Padilla. Brandon Page. Congratulations. Brandon Page. Luke Papalagi. Joshua Patulski. Devin Payton, right? Devin Payton. Jordan Pell. Juan Pablo Perez. Javier Perez Flores. Alexis Perez Garcia. Alexis Perez Garcia. Alexander Perez Quintero. Alexander Perez Quintero. Dalen Pressler. Brianna Prokash. Daniel Ramirez. Jesse Ramirez Perez. William Randall. Amanda Trice. Logan Ribyat. Quentin Rigby. Congratulations. Kayleen Rodriguez. Kevin Rojas Leba. Kevin Rojas Leva. Noah Ross. Julian Rueda. Desiree Ruiz. Liam Riles. Logan Syke. Esmeralda Santos. Timber Sheringhausen. Miles Center. Miles Center. Ilani Torres. Jasmine Tadeo Bernal. Jason Thompson. Jason Thompson. Diego Torres Juarez. Angel Trujillo Lopez. Great, man. Yourself? Johnny Twitchell Calzada. Aiden Tyre. Elijah Valentin. Lance Valenzuela. Juan Vargas, correct? Juan what? Juan Sol? Juan Sol? Juan Vargas. Angel Vargas Suarez. Angel Vargas Suarez. Luis Viera. Jover Vigil. Angelo Villapando. Briseida Villaseñor. Christian Wallace. Kenneth White. And last but not least, Roland Wiley. That concludes our list of recruits.
All of it out the system? All right. So, I was feeling good. I was like, man, they got me going down memory lane. I'm tearing up. I'm like, I remember that. I want to say, I think it looks great that you guys, all the pretty hair, the nice hair, the chiseled, y'all all going to look the same after boot camp. And I hope somebody took a picture, mom and dads. That none of them are going to look like they look tonight. I can show you my picture. It wasn't any of that. But then my job as a journalist is fact check, hold people accountable. Major, there's always one, right? You had about 75 of them. I thought I said, do not make any noise, but it doop, 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 doop. So anyway, the devil dogs never let me down. But anyway, Semper Fi to all of you. Welcome. Hoorah. No. See, more than 2 Marines in the room, that's what happens. But okay, where's my script? Air Force, that big clap was probably the end of intermission, I know so. But I would now like to welcome Second Lieutenant Andrew Hutzlar from the U.S. Air Force.
All right, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, General, for being here. Mayor, the precedent's been set, and on behalf of the 309th Aircraft Maintenance Unit. Thank you. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm First Lieutenant QQMF. Good evening, everyone. I'm First Lieutenant Andy Hutzler. Before I begin, I want to say thank you and express my gratitude to every single individual out here today who has invested their time in our men and women who are soon to be part of the United States Air Force and every branch of the United States military. I want to start with a short personal story. General, you talked about why we serve, right, and why we joined. So I want to share my story about what inspired me to volunteer to serve with our nation. When I was 11 years old, I went with my grandparents to visit the Air Force Museum at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. I grew up only about 45 minutes from there, so to me, it was just another trip with my grandparents. But to my grandpa, it was something else. My grandpa enlisted in the Air Force in 1964 when he was just 18 years old and served as a motor pool mechanic, today known as vehicle maintenance, at 2 locations, Grissom Air Force Base, Indiana, and Anderson Air Base, Guam. He served honorably until his contract ended in 1968, where he returned home, met my grandma, and the rest is history. While we were at the museum, I can still vividly remember to this day walking around in the World War II exhibit when he turned to me next to Boxcar, the B-29 superfortress that dropped the atomic bomb on the city of Nagasaki, Japan, effectively ending the war. And he told me that he'd be so proud of me if I joined the Air Force someday. At that time, I didn't think much of it, but 2 months later, he tragically passed away. And at that point, I knew that when I finished high school, the Air Force was going to be where I would end up. And so I did. I went to college right after school, I joined Air Force ROTC, and I was able to earn my commission upon graduation. I'm sharing this with you because my grandpa only served for 4 years, but it's such an impact on him. 40 years later, he still looked back at it as one of his proudest things he'd ever done. I stand here today because of him, and I always carry a memento of him to remind myself, so I've got his rank from when he was in. I carry it on myself every time I'm in uniform. I want to be the leader that he as an airman would want to follow. Thank you. To the families, I understand these are your sons, your daughters, your brothers, your sisters. The list goes on. I know that you've walked this journey alongside them. You've held them up with your love and support as they made this decision. I want you to know that on behalf of the United States Air Force, we take this very seriously. I thank you for believing in them and entrusting us to be a part of their future. To the airmen, I want you to know that I'm unapologetically an airman. You have already raised your right hand, or will. You will say the oath of enlistment and agree to be part of less than 1% willing to serve your nation. Whether you are in for only 4 years or 40 years, what you're doing is one of the most important decisions you could possibly make, and you will be proud of yourselves for doing it. Your commitment, dedication, and honor are something that truly motivates the rest of us. Congratulations to all my new siblings in arms. I want you to wear your graduation stoles proudly next week as you display joining the next generation of military leaders for us all to see. You earned this, and I'm proud of you. To my fellow airmen, I look forward to seeing you out in the big blue. And to my fellow maintainers, I look forward to seeing you on the flight line. Aim high, airmen.
The following recruits have made the commitment to serve the country in the United States Air Force. Carlos Ayala Flores. Juan Angel Vasquez Alvarez. Angelina Jerlene Creer. Noah Carrillo Dunn. Isaac Jonathan Fair. Devin Isaac Fowler. No, I am not. Ariza Marie Erlinson Gonzalez. Maddox Lee Hayes. Sean Patrick Jones. Madison Daisy Kennedy. Austin Kilby. Tiffany Marie Leaders. Bennett Walker Lyon. Xavier Morones. Keegan Scott Oliver. Cole William Pulliam. Michaela Reichart. Jana Ashton Ritter. That concludes our list of recruits entering into the United States Air Force. Aim high, Airmen.
We need the sandpit from Paris Island, I can tell you that. And where's the lieutenant apologies? It says second lieutenant, but I see you first. Did you just get promoted? Yes. Oh, well, paper says second, but right on, it's all good. All right, so now is the big time. You know, that was the preface. So I guess the mayor, if you want, you can take a seat. It's all up to the general now. General Rand will now administer the oath of enlistment to our future service members from the 6 branches of service. Then we're going to have, after the general, we're going to have the Lieutenant Colonel Gordon Smith come up and give it to the National Guard and the Air Guard service members. So if all the recruits would stand up, please. You got it right.
Yep. Thank you. No, that's right there. All right, y'all ready? Moms and dads, are you proud tonight? I just want to say this about our oath. And in the early 40s, men took an oath to a person. His name was Adolf Hitler. In our country, we take an oath to a concept. It's the Constitution. It's about life, liberty, and what? And I hope that every time, this will be only one of many times you'll take this oath. But I hope you'll always remember that you take an oath to a concept called freedom. Someone called it the great experiment tonight. And I just want to thank you all for doing that. And that's what separates us from so many countries, I think, in the world. So if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulation and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Hoorah. All right, now let's get Lieutenant Colonel Gordon Smith to give the oath of enlistment to the National Guard and Air Guard service members.
Attention to the oath. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the great state of Arizona against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States, the Governor of the state of Arizona, and the officers appointed over me, according to law and regulation. So help me God.
Congratulations to you as well. So Glendale Mayor's Office and our entire community are all proud of you tonight and your decision to join the military and to serve this country. So please, everyone, give them another round of applause. So have you guys forgotten what the crowd is over here looking at you all night? The choir? They're about to do something else for us. Our next song is called Salute to the U.S. Armed Forces, and we are asking for help from our audience members. I think this is the fun part. We invite all members, active duty, the veterans, and even the recruits, to please stand together and join in as the choir sings Your Branch song. So we're going to do that, the Salute to the Armed Forces. y'all gonna have me too hyped to go to bed. Normally I'm getting ready to go in the studio about this time. But anyway, thank you all for the wonderful renditions of all of our songs. We thank you, we applaud you, and it's really special, and y'all did not let me down. Right. Okay, all right. So anyway, so this is getting near the end of our service. So ladies and gentlemen, please stand so that we can let our official party leave. And we would like you to stand until the official party leaves. And all of the event speakers are part of that official party. I'm about to get in, but I can't. All right, one shot, one kill. No, okay. All right, inductees, the stoles you are wearing tonight are yours to keep. We invite you to proudly wear your stole at your high school graduation. And I'm told to say, if you cannot wear it, you email me at the station and let me know. That's a direct order from the mayor. ABC 15, not the other one, so I can, whatever. All right, but anyway, again, all of the photographs were taken tonight by the sailor you see over here. The photographs will be posted on the mayor's Flickr page. It's posted behind me, and you can see the video at youtube.com/mayorwires. All of that should be available on May 16th. Today's ceremony was recorded. Again, the new recruits, we thank you for your decision alone to join the United States Armed Forces, and we look forward to seeing you return to Arizona as our future leaders. On your way out, everybody else, please stop and say hello, say thank you, and just support these folks. They're going to need it, and you're going to need it too, moms and dads, but you got to be strong so they can be strong and come back and be strong for all of us. You got that, mom and dads, uncles, aunties, all, everybody else. So that concludes tonight's program. The choir is going to sing us again with God Bless America. Thank you all for attending, and thank you for giving me the honor of having my first time doing this event. You have a great night.
The things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again for just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you.
God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shine.